This is our mic, Scarlett, so they can hear us. Do you have anything to say? Are you gonna say your name?
I'm Sayed.
You're Scarlett, and are you homeschooled?
No.
Not yet, huh? But we do some fun things, don't we? We learn about our habit books, don't we?
Yeah.
What else do we do?
I don't know.
You don't know. Are you kind of sick today? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Scarlett thinks that I've lost it because I'm talking to the camera for the first time and she does not remember me being a YouTuber or whatever you want to call it. Have you ever been in a video before? She wanted to be in one, and today's a little sick day. But anyways, today I wanted to do a video answering you guys' questions about homeschool. We'll see how long she sticks around for.
Have we eat that chicken?
You want to eat it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so the first question is, are you homeschooling for pre-K and kindergarten and then sending them to school? So obviously you guys, you would know if you watched my last video. I think I also did get other questions like, will I ever send them to school? Not at the moment, unless something crazy happens. There are different schools. So I did want to mention, like, I mean, I could not, there's no way I could fit all of my thoughts and like all the things I've learned in one video from the last video. But I did want to mention that there are different ways of schooling that aren't just like sitting at home. So I've been looking into like this thing called like Acton Academy. They actually build things and like start little businesses. I mean, obviously I'm not, I'm super educated on that and what they do there, but I would be interested in sending her to different classes outside the home, but not like public school or private school, like, you know, all the time. So I actually feel like I can see my kids walking around. But anyways, Megan J. N. Yother, she says, if you move out of California, will you stay in the US or would you want to live somewhere else? So I think we definitely obviously stay in the US because our families are here. I mean, never say never. At a point in time, if you guys watched me, we wanted to like try living in Japan. Now you can't even get there. So thankfully I didn't do that. But you can't even travel there, at least if you're, yeah, I don't think you can travel there at all right now. But yeah, I don't think we're moving out of the United States. If we ever did, it would be like for a couple months. We always think about moving somewhere else, like most people that live in California, but the weather's just too good for us to leave right now. And the amount of things that we can do, like since we are with our kids like 24/7, you know, it's hard to leave a state where there's the beach, the mountains, the desert, all within like an hour drive, or honestly, the beach is like 20 minutes away from us right now. So it's really hard to leave different climates and different things to do because we do get bored like staying at home since we are homeschooling, or just, you know, we're not really homeschooling too much right now, but since we're with them so much, we get so bored at home. So we like to have different things. Like we can go to the tide pools, we can go to so many different museums, and I mean, it's crazy. Like SoCal is truly the best place to live if you are a homeschool. I think if you're a homeschool parent and you can afford it, the laws are not great. Okay. So we want to move eventually, I think one day, but not right now, like not right now, but it could change tomorrow. I have no idea. This is from Lady Skellington 4. She says, is it expensive to homeschool your kids? I think that it's probably, yeah, it's going to be expensive. Like I have no idea how much my parents paid for like public school. They had to pay for, I mean, I was in different extracurriculars, Girl Scouts and like sports. And I know they had to pay for like, obviously, I don't know, just different stuff here and there. But I think that I am going to make it expensive. I think that I just like know myself. I don't think it has to be though, like at all. I know different homeschool families. We joined like a co-op like in Southern California, and it's basically a co-op. A lot of you guys don't know because you asked me, but I know it's a weird word. I didn't even know what it was either, but it's basically a group of moms and dads, but honestly, Doug's the only dad in the whole co-op. He doesn't care. He's used to it by now. But it's basically a group of moms that meet every Friday, and it's so cute. They do like different classes, and then they have like, I guess, PE, where the middle school kids will teach the toddlers how to do kickball, I mean, it's like so enlightening seeing how these middle school homeschool kids have grown up. They have like the best communication skills. They aren't shy. They are, I don't know, they're like so good at like teaching these little toddlers. It's crazy. But anyways, then they have like classes. So last week they had like a Stars and Stripe class where they do the Pledge of Allegiance, where they learn about American history, and toddlers can do it. So anyways, to answer that question, I know a lot of homeschool moms, and none of them are making it expensive. They're like finding lots of resources online. This is a cute one that is like not to do with homeschooling, but I just want to answer it. So this is from Maguri Camgio. I'm saying all of these wrong, but I'm just talking really fast today because I can hear my kids like trying to like get at me. Okay, so she says, how do you feel about Premom Haley versus who you are now? Completely different person, okay? I have debated deleting all the videos on my channel. Not all of them, but definitely up until like the last year, maybe like the last 2 years, because they are so cringe. But honestly, I don't even care. Like I was a completely different person then. You guys know if you watched me, I mean, I got like breast implants, which I want out because they're stupid for me. I mean, not for other people, whatever. But I was very vain. You guys know if you followed me, and I just wanted to make it as like a blogger influencer. Like it's all I could ever want for my life. And then now that I have kids, it's like different person entirely. I'm homeschooling. We're doing like online business together. So, I mean, I laugh at myself, but it's like, I'm glad that I'm different, you know? I don't know. I wouldn't trade whatever. I wouldn't trade any of it, but it's like, I was so different, so different. Okay, this is from Jojo Doll 0306, whatever. How do you deal with the kids home all day? LOL. I would lose my mind. You're such a good mom. Okay, don't say that because we all lose our minds. I feel like I am a decent mom, but I could definitely be better. How do I deal with the kids all day? Lately, it's been very rough. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It looks like I'm put together now, but this is like one time a week. I look like a bridge troll like 6 other days of this week. I'm not even kidding you. My house is like a complete bomb, like behind the camera. That's why, like, I don't know. You just cannot tell. And we do have cleaning. Like, okay, one thing. So one thing that does help is we hire a cleaners once a week. For a short period of time, I'm going to be super transparent here. We hired them twice a week. So I was like, can't. Because the thing about it that you guys don't know, and I do get comments like, you're so lazy, just clean up. But it's like, it's seriously not laziness. You guys will know if you watched me before. I was like, I wouldn't say a clean freak, but I was very clean. Like when I did those cleaning videos in our little apartment, I cleaned all the time, like after every meal. But nowadays we have like 2 online businesses and we're trying to start another one. So we work at night and we work like sporadically all throughout the day. Doug and I will switch off. So there's not much time for me to like, this sounds terrible, but there's not much time for me to like organize under the sink or clean up after my kids, you know? So I've taken honestly everything out of my house. Like I've tried to become a minimalist. Like I honestly can't because it's just too much discipline to like, I don't know, whatever. I like shopping, but I've tried to minimize like the toys in our house. There's less chance for them to be strewn out everywhere. Even staying on top of being a minimalist is like a lot of focus away from our businesses. And we don't even work. It sounds like we work a lot, but we don't. It's just, I don't know, to answer your question, it's hard to keep the house clean. I don't know where that was going. I don't know where I was going with that, but I think like some things that we do is we do try and leave the house once a day. Like today, all the kids are sick and I know that they're going to get wild at like 3:00. It's like the witching hour every day from like, honestly, 3 to 7. Like it's crazy. Cause we have, if you guys don't know, like I'm sure you do, but we have 3 kids, 4 years old and under. Annabelle's almost 5, but they're just like so tiny and they have like crazy little fits and they fight with each other. So yeah, we lose our mind every single day, but it helps if we get out like once a day for sure. That's like the only tip. And honestly, the second tip is like, I find that if I plan my day with them the night before, and if I know like, hey, we're going to do this for an hour and we're going to do this the next hour, then the day is like way smoother and the amount of tantrums are like greatly reduced. But if I'm just like, I don't know what's happening today, let's like fly by the seat of our pants. It's like it's just, I mean, it's not like wise for me to do that. But sometimes I forget. I honestly often forget. So yeah, Simran something 1547. Isn't it hard to homeschool with home-based business? Extremely hard. We honestly, the last like month we debated on getting an office like outside the home, but we decided not to right now because I just like can't find any that's like I don't know. We found one office and it was a good price near our house. So it's like we would just pop over there for like 3 hours at a time. Like we wouldn't be gone all day and we'd rotate, we'd switch off. But it was like a box and there was no window. So I didn't want to like, I don't know. I didn't want to do that. It would be kind of depressing. So yeah, I think one day eventually, our dream is to actually build, and I'll put it on the screen right here, to buy a house and then build like something in the backyard. Like it's a standalone house, which they literally do have them. They are not cheap, obviously. That's like has air conditioning and like lights, like a studio basically to film videos and work. But you know, that'll be in like a couple years. I hope not too far down the line, but that is like the ultimate goal. Cause yes, filming and having 3 kids that are tiny, be quiet. Like Doug has to ride bikes outside right now, you know? So it's extremely hard, but I don't know. You have to just like make a decision, which it's laughable because this morning I was very stressed, but make a decision to like be positive about it. And it's easier said than done. Let me tell you. Sarah Wood 93. Are you going to be the teacher or hire a teacher? I have no idea. I think like for when they're young, I'll be the teacher because I just want them to learn like, I don't know, basic skills, life lessons and stuff. And I know reading and math, like I'll get to all of that. Don't worry. I know a lot of people are like, you're not going to teach them nothing. I will. Okay. I'm going to make sure they're not going to turn out to be dumb, but I think eventually we'll probably have to hire help in some way since we do have all these businesses. I don't want a full-time homeschool teacher that would like just be not the point that I'm trying to do. Like that's like not what I'm trying to aim for. Nothing wrong with it, but like I would like to be involved in some subjects. It just depends. I don't know. Okay, this is a good one. Sarah Wood 93. How do you plan on socializing them constantly aside from socializing with siblings? So I truly believe, and I forgot to put this in my last video, but I think there's like this myth that that your kids are going to be like weird and they're not going to know how to socialize if they're at home all day. But you guys, like I told you, I'm a part of this homeschool co-op, and that is the biggest like misconception in the world, because these kids are clearly well socialized and have the best communication skills in the world. And the best and most funniest thing that I heard from actually one of our like online course students, Little by Little Homeschool, you guys can look her up. I'll put her down below. Her name is Lee, and she like teaches people how to homeschool and how to get started. She said this thing that made me laugh, and I say it all the time now, but I don't know about you guys, but if you went to public or private or just like regular school, there was always weirdos in your class, okay? There's always kids that no matter how many kids they saw in a day at school, they just could not effectively communicate. They're weird and awkward and like scared and anxious. And I don't think it has anything to do with you going to traditional school. Like going to traditional school and sitting in a classroom is not going to make you socially like good. It doesn't matter. So anyways, as far as like, how do we plan on socializing them? We socialize so much right now that I honestly think we need to like cut back because we're seeing too many people all the time. The first way we do is church. So we go to church every Sunday, and then we go to life group. We've been going. So the kids play with other kids twice a week right there. We have a really good neighborhood, hence why we don't want to move right now, even though we're renting. Like, we'd rather rent and be with our neighbors, and that's crazy. I've never been in this situation before, but we love our neighborhood. Like, the kids play every single day outside for like 2 hours, and they're all just like amazing kids. So I don't know. That is one way. It'd be different if we didn't have that. We go to homeschool co-op every single Friday. I'm also enrolling Annabelle in Taekwondo, so she goes to that once a week. I mean, we see kids like all the time. Honestly, I'm like, that's enough kids. So socializing is not an issue, but yes, you have to make, like, as the mom or the parent that homeschools, that has to be like the forefront of your mind. And it was not the case when we first moved here. We knew nobody, very lonely, very isolating. And so I thought like, oh, I can't do this. It's so lonely. I should put her in something. So I've had my doubts before, but now I know I just have to take the reins, Okay, the next question is, what if they ask to go to traditional school when they're older? Like, I don't know, like I'm not going to ever put them in traditional school because I don't think it's right for them. And like, I'm a parent, like if your kid wants to go do something, I'm not saying traditional school is horrible. Like I'm not. And so it sounds bad when I say it, but like, if your kid wants to do something that is like, something that you don't want them to do because it's not good for them. You're not going to, I don't want to equate traditional schooling to like anything really terrible, because then you guys are not going to like me at all, obviously. But you're just, you have boundaries in place for your kid because you feel like you know what's best, So no, I don't think that if they ever want to take classes and stuff, like I don't know, my goal, and I could be seriously wrong. Well, I'll let you guys know along the way, but my goal is for them to really like and enjoy their life to where they don't feel the urge to like go sit in a classroom all day, And it's just so funny because we actually do have homeschooling like neighbors. There's like 4 kids they homeschool, and the mom's like, and there's like a joke, not with them, but like with other kind of homeschool moms. If the kid acts up or something, she's like, do you want to go to like regular school? And they're like, no, because most homeschool kids really like it. I think that's just a stigma because you just don't know. And I never knew either, like even when in our co-op, like these kids love their life. They have so much fun. They have more enriching activities than I ever did as a child. So that's just my goal, for her to really like it. Okay, then someone else is just so freaking annoying. Like, I'm not going to say the name, but, if related to vaccine mandates with like the freaking emoji with the cross, like, dude, you do you, that's not the reason we're homeschooling, but like, why do people like, oh goodness. And I get like another one of those like annoying people. It's like, just let people live. Like, I don't know. So that is not why though, but I'm not going to go there. So as far as like Rhea Gerald, so she says like, what resources do you use? Dude, like freaking YouTube. I YouTube everything. I always have for like a decade. Something that I really like right now is, actually the book is right here. So funny. But I really like Charlotte Mason because it's Christian based, and it just like really focuses on training your child. I am obsessed with this book. Okay, so I just got it like 2 days ago. It's not like, this isn't a book review, but this is just the book number 2. But there's this, it's not cheap. Okay, it was like $100 or something for like all of these books. It comes with like a set, and you don't have to buy them all together. But this is so enlightening. Okay, so this is called Laying Down the Rails for Children. It's a habit training. This is the guide, and there's also a book. But this is why I like homeschooling, because like, you can focus on training your kids with their habits, and you can if they're in school and when they come home, but it's like more enforced. It's more at the forefront of their mind. So, right now, instead of teaching Annabelle, like, this is what F sounds like, which don't worry, we still do a little bit of that when she wants to. But right now we're really focused on the habit of cleanliness. So instead of like, Annabelle, which I've done all the things, okay, trust me, I'm not perfect, but Annabelle, like, do your chores, clean your room, this place is a gross mess. In laying down the rails, it talks about, like how if you create habits for your kids, it's like so interesting, and it's like helpful for myself too. If you create habits for your kids, like every day when they wake up, they make their bed, and it's like, make your bed, and you're nice about it. You do fun things with them and you help them do it with them. Then every day they just like make their bed. I actually tested this like last year. Annabelle was just like not wanting to take her plate when she was done eating. So we trained her. And so like, this is called child training, which is absolutely a new idea to me, but the whole premises of child training is you shouldn't have to discipline your kids. Like, obviously sometimes you will, but you shouldn't have to a lot if you just train them and instill habits from a very young age, which is obviously easier said than done when my kid is almost 5 and I've like just learned this, trust me. So last year, Annabelle didn't want to take her plate, like I said, to like the sink. I mean, she couldn't reach it, but I had to have her do something. She couldn't just like leave a mess everywhere. So Doug and I trained her to take her plate from like her seat or whatever, from like the dining table to the trash can. So she puts it on the trash can every time. She does this without fail every single meal, every single day of her life. Even when we went on vacation, she had this habit, like, I have to put my, we didn't like scold her to do it. Like, it sounds kind of weird, but we were just like, don't forget, and we did it enough to where even when we're at my sister's house in Tennessee, like a different environment, she goes to find the trash can lid to put the plate on it, so it's just funny. And now we have to like boost it up because now she has to like scrape it off into the trash can. We're doing that right now. But basically the whole point of like laying down the rails is like laying down the foundation for habits in a children's life. So we're focusing on cleaning. We're explaining to her like what it means to air out your room, like basic things that I just don't think to teach my child. I'm like, well, you should just know this like eventually. There's really good like stories about, and like poems about it, and it's so captivating for the child. And it's not just like a book of like a chore chart or like how to do it. Like, she wants to do her habit book. It is so enlightening. Okay, so like right now for like, I guess, homeschool, we're focusing on life stuff, right? So like cleanliness, courtesy, kindness, manners, please and thank you, neatness, modesty, purity, courage and diligence. I mean, like, this is kind of stuff they don't really cover in school. Like, they do, I mean, to a degree. I went to Christian school, like, all the way up until 8th grade. So they do, but I mean, it's just different when a parent teaches you, So like attention, imagining, meditation, concentration, like, it's so good. It's totally worth the price. Okay. Self-control, truthfulness, health, physical habits, religious, oh my gosh. Okay. So we're really excited about that. But anyways, I don't even know what the question was. What resources do you use? Right now I'm just looking at Charlotte Mason, and I'll link some YouTube channels that like I watch like every day when the kids go to sleep. Okay. This is Maribel 1995. What are your thoughts on unschooling? I'm very interested actually in unschooling. Last year, Doug and I paid into one of our mentorships, one of many, with a guy. It was like $5,000. This kid was 21 years old, and I'm learning from like a 21-year-old dude. It's so funny, but he's so young, and he's built this multi-million-dollar business, and he was unschooled. So I asked him about it. I'm like, what the heck? Like, did your mom not do curriculums? And he said we could learn whatever we want. She just made sure we knew like the foundation. And this kid is obsessed with learning. I know it's not all about being rich and successful. That's like so triggering for people, but I mean, it is a testament. His mom was an unschooler, so he got to like start this business when he was 16, and it's just all very interesting to me. So I am definitely open to it. I like the fact that with unschooling, if your kid wants to learn about like, for instance, I mean, you'd be so lucky, but like coding, then they could just code like for 3 weeks straight, and you can ignore any other subject, and they become a master at coding. And they basically, with unschooling and just like homeschooling in general though, like, it teaches your kids to go and find information on their own. Like, it's not fed to them. So they have to learn the skill of going to find the answer to their problem. And that's kind of like unschooling. So I love that. So this is a good one. Daisy B24. I feel like I'll be judged for keeping her at home instead of being surrounded by kids. That is like stupid, and don't listen to people. Like, honestly, because my kids are around kids. Like I said, every single day they're around like a ton of kids. It's like, I'm sick of seeing other people's kids, honestly. So that's just a misconception, and you will be judged, but those people are ignorant, so ignore them. Like, what can I say about it? Like, I don't know. This is Jen Holo. Why homeschool instead of moving away from a state where you don't like the politics? Again, like, I don't like the politics of California, but I'm not homeschooling because of, Gavin Newsom, the governor, like, I'm not, like, that doesn't affect it. I wouldn't put my kids in school even if I lived in like Idaho, you know, I would still homeschool. So the politics, like it's like such a big question, like just forever and always nowadays, but especially like homeschool too. The politics don't affect me because I do homeschool, you know? I mean, they do affect like other things, but as far as like my kids are in my bubble. Like some people say it's bad, but it's not in my opinion. So it doesn't affect my kids in that way. It would if I put them in school, but yeah. Okay, so this is Victoria K. Berg. Is anxiety about leaving them a reason? I have bad separation anxiety with all three of mine. So if you've obviously, I think, followed me for a while, because you'll know I have like the worst separation anxiety. I tried to put Annabelle in daycare when she was 2 because I like was swamped with like being a full-time YouTuber. Thankfully, I don't have to do that anymore. Like obviously being a full-time YouTuber. But yeah, I mean, I obviously don't agree with my decisions back then, and you live and you learn with your first kid, poor first kid. But I wouldn't say that because I do drop off Annabelle like in different types of programs. I don't have as much anxiety. I still don't want to leave my kids though. So that's not why. It doesn't, I don't know. That is a pro. Like I can be with my kids. So why cruise 03, everything, co-op options, how that works honestly with 3 kids. Are they actually learning? I mean, like, I don't think this was your question, but in the co-op, they're not really being taught. Like it's more just for socializing. And yeah, they learn about like, you know, America on Fridays, and then like on the next Friday, like every Friday is like a different thing. So it's like crafts, learning about America, physical education, you know, different things. They are learning in that way, but it's really just like to, you know, like be with other homeschool kids and like socialize. They are actually learning if you teach them and expose them to different things. So that is obviously, it's a big pressure for the parent, but yeah, you could homeschool them and not teach them anything, or you could homeschool them and teach them more than school. So it's kind of just like up to you. Okay, so then the last question is Santa Mohammed 562. Maybe share a full homeschool routine in a day. So I think that's what I want to do for my next video. Do like another day in a life. I haven't done that in a while. And share with you guys like what we're doing. I'm going to probably focus on like the habit book because no, I don't sit my kids at a desk right now. I don't think it's necessary. In fact, they get bored. I'd rather like build something with them. Like Doug has them build like little things with hammers and nails. Like they're still very small. I don't need to like sit them down and teach Annabelle how to read yet. I don't feel like she needs that. So I will do like a day in the life next week, hopefully. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know I did not get to all the questions, but maybe I'll do another one. I don't know. I could talk about homeschooling until, you know, the cows come home. So that's a phrase my mom always says. But anyways, so thank you guys for watching. I'm excited to be back, and like this video if you like it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.